What's up, YouTube? We're here with another video. Today we're doing a little something different. I like Dragon Balls. I don't know. I know y'all know what Dragon Ball is, so we're doing moves that you really don't see on the screen, but like are OP as hell. And there shouldn't be no reason they shouldn't be using the moves, but they don't use them, I guess. Let's see what kind of moves those are. That being said, I hope y'all being safe. Well, I hope y'all are safe, and I hope y'all doing good. That being said, just getting straight in the video.
Just a variation of Kamehameha. Goku's healing ability. You read that right. Goku has the ability to heal. Healing is a technique we've seen a few notable characters do in the franchise. Dende is the first one that comes to my mind, but other notable healers were Kibito and other Supreme Kai. But our favorite Saiyan is able to heal minor injuries, and we've seen him do it twice. During the movie Cooler's Revenge, Cooler knocks down a bird. In a fit of anger and determination, Super Saiyan Goku takes that bird and heals it before it flies away. It's generally agreed, though, that movies aren't canon, so we see Goku do this again in Dragon Ball Super. In the Tournament of Power, Goku is able to resuscitate Master Roshi with his Super Saiyan God energy. If you look at these two instances, what looks like healing just seems to be Goku transferring his energy into others. It's kind of like when he gave his energy to Frieza after his fight. If Goku has this kind of potential, he could dish this out more often. It might have even saved a few of his friends' lives. To be fair though, they have Senzu Beans and the Dragon to revive fallen allies. Anyone who's seen One Piece can tell you the advantages of stretchy arms. Piccolo has an assortment of odd powers that make him an interesting character. As long as his head isn't damaged, he can regenerate and heal himself, making him ageless in a sense. His arsenal of ki-based attacks is among the most unique in the cast, with his signature move being the Makan Kasapo, or the Special Beam Cannon. Out of all of his attacks and techniques, his stretchy arms, or Demon Hand, is among the most underutilized. It's said that Namekians don't have bones. They're supported by cells in their body, and it allows them to regenerate and be pretty flexible. It also allows Namekians...
Let's take a moment. I did not know that. Piccolos don't have any bones?
Namekian warriors to expand their arms to extend
Namekians don't what?
And their reach. We've seen this power a total of 3 times in the entire franchise. In the 23rd Martial Arts Tournament, Piccolo uses this technique on Krillin. We see it come again in the Dragon Ball Z movie, Cooler's Revenge. We see it for a 3rd time when Piccolo uses his Demon Hand to restrain Frost. Not for nothing, but I think this technique is severely underutilized. Striking an opponent with a melee attack from a distance does give you some advantages. Telepathy is usually reserved for very mentally powerful beings. Goku is indeed powerful, but physically, not that mentally. Goku is so dense that he needs to count on his fingers to get to 1. Mental limitations aside, a power that we've only seen Goku use twice is his telepathy.
He's the strongest being, but he could be the slowest dude though, like... He's not the smartest guy.
Both of these instances are early in Dragon Ball Z. The first time we see it is when Goku speaks to Krillin telepathically to let Vegeta go during the Saiyan Saga. The other time is when Goku reads Krillin's mind to catch up on the event so far on planet Namek. Both instances involve Krillin, which tells me that this might not be a true form of telepathy. It could be argued that this is just a representation of Krillin and Goku's strong bond as friends. After all, Krillin and Goku have been friends since they were kids all the way back in Dragon Ball. Despite everything, Krillin is Goku's
training with Master Roshi. That shit
oldest friend.
Those are old times.
So it could be reason that they share a special bond.
I missed those.
This probably explains why Goku doesn't use it for anyone else. Krillin isn't involved in a lot of fights after the Frieza saga, and he doesn't have this kind of bond with any other character. Not even Vegeta or his own son.
Locked them in the castle.
Speaking of Krillin, we have a move that honestly should do a lot more damage considering its name.
Disco Disc, that's why I say it should cost more damage, because bro, that shit I seen that shit go right through someone.
Despite knowing the Kamehameha, Solar Flare, and Destructo Disc, Krillin just cannot catch a break. A few sources say that the Destructo Disc, or Kienzan, is Krillin's signature move, but the truth is a number of enemies have variations of this move. Frieza has the Death Saucer, a deadlier variation of the Kienzan, and is even capable of harming the user. Perfect Cell has also used this technique, however his genetic makeup is composed of all the Z fighters, including Krillin. Unlike a normal Ki Blast, the Destructo Disc is able to injure an opponent that is much stronger than the wielder. We saw this when Krillin used it to slice Frieza's tail. It was even effective against Vegeta during the Saiyan Saga. In fact, the only opponent the disc didn't work on was Cell. Perhaps that has to do with Krillin being so far beneath Cell that even a move like that couldn't touch him. If that's true, it says more about Krillin than it does about Cell in terms of power level. It means that Krillin wasn't so far behind Vegeta and Frieza, huh? With a world dominated by large muscles and strong energy blasts, the idea of using mental power seems a bit extra in a franchise like Dragon Ball? Yeah, it's silly, I know, but really think about that for a moment. Even in the early days of Dragon Ball, the idea of using psychic powers or telekinesis was seen as a novelty. Chaozu has telekinetic powers, and he's shown to be pretty powerful in Dragon Ball, but that doesn't really come up again in Dragon Ball Z. In fact, when we make the jump to Z, the only people who seem to use telekinesis are villains. Goldo uses telekinesis to paralyze Krillin and Gohan. Frieza uses it to move mountains and even uses it to kill Krillin. Cell, of course, uses telekinesis to create his arena for the Cell games. When it comes right down to it...
Y'all remember when Frieza used, when he killed Krillin and Goku and Super Saiyan?
This power has a wide range of uses, and can be used in a number of ways, but it also requires focus and concentration. In a Dragon Ball fight, the combatants are normally zipping around one another. With a fight like that, it would be difficult to hold them in place for very long. Additionally, you would be better off firing a Ki Blast than taking the time to lift up a boulder and throw it at your opponent. This next entry is more common, especially in Dragon Ball Super, but this power is used by one kind of being almost exclusively. Hakai is the power of the gods of destruction. It allows them to, destroy. Outside of the destroyers, there are only a handful of powerful individuals who can use Hakai. Frieza proved that he could use it when he tried to kill Goku with it. Toppo also showed he had the ability in the Tournament of Power. Lastly, Goku has shown that he can also use this power. So far, Goku has only used this power once, and it appears only in the manga. During the Zamasu saga, after perfecting Super Saiyan Blue, Goku attempts to use Hakai on Fuse Zamasu. Unlike Beerus's Hakai, Goku's is slow and requires him to concentrate on one spot. This almost destroys half of Fuse Zamasu, but he uses Future Mai as a human shield, which forces Goku to stop. With the manga and anime still going on, it is possible that Goku will use Hakai more regularly. He's unlocked Ultra Instinct, a form that is said to surpass even the gods. Bearing that in mind, will Goku ever use Hakai again? It's honestly hard to say. Despite detecting power levels and other extra senses, a fighter still relies on their eyes in order to fight. Back during Dragon Ball, a solar flare was a powerful technique developed by Tien. It would blind a person who looked in the direction of the user. Of course, there were a few ways of getting around this. If the user had their eyes closed before the flash of light, they could avoid being blinded. During Dragon Ball Z, this technique was used by heroes and villains alike. Because Cell was made up of all the Z fighters' DNA and techniques, he was able to use the solar flare, and did so frequently when he was outmatched by the Z fighters. The solar flare has been used in Super as well by Krillin, Future Trunks, and Goku. However, there is a version of the solar flare that is much more powerful. Like 100 times more powerful. Well, then let's look at Krillin's own solar flare times 100. Yes, this special version of the solar flare is so powerful that even if you have your eyes closed, you'll still be blinded. Additionally, it stops the user from detecting Ki for a short time. The only time Krillin's used this technique was when he was training Gohan for the Tournament of Power. I know, we said we'd look at moves that weren't the Kamehameha, but you know what's better than one Kamehameha? Two Kamehamehas. This is a move that needs no introduction. It's the move we all know and love, the move we've all tried ourselves at one point growing up. Many people know how to use this technique, ever since it was taught to Goku and Krillin by Master Roshi. Yamcha, Gohan, and Goten all know how to use the Kamehameha. You'd think from the form it requires two hands. Well, that's not exactly true. Gohan managed to defeat Cell with a one-handed Kamehameha, and that one lasted like 5 whole episodes. Before Gohan, however, there was the fabled double Kamehameha. During his fight with Frieza, Goku unleashed a double scoop blast with both hands to try and get the drop on Frieza. After that, we see Goku go for a triple in the movie Cooler's Revenge. Goku unleashes a whopping triple blast on all three of Cooler's goons. Dragon Ball Super has given us a lot of old moves with new versions and new ways to use them. I think we're due for the return of a double Kamehameha. Have you noticed that Piccolo has an affinity for grenade-type attacks? Of all the moves in his arsenal, he has two named after grenades.
I seen Piccolo, like, he flushed out new moves almost every single fight.
The Hell Zone grenade and the Light grenade. Both of these moves came about during his fight with Android 17. It shows Piccolo's knack for thinking outside the box and creating new moves on the fly. However, they often aren't as effective as he wants them to be. When he used the Hell Zone grenade, Android 17 used his barrier to deflect them. When he uses the Light grenade, it was out of desperation. It was literally the only thing he could think of when he faced Imperfect Cell. The move proved to be very powerful, but sadly, it wasn't powerful enough. Perhaps that's why he doesn't use it as often as the Special Beam Cannon. However, we did see a return of the Light grenade during his fight with Moro, a villain from the Prison Planet arc in Dragon Ball Super. When he uses it on Moro, Piccolo developed a self-destruct version of the move. It was poised to take the Space Wizard down, but sadly, Piccolo was taken out before he could use it. The last technique is one straight out of Naruto. I don't care if Dragon Ball Z came out first, Naruto is known for shadow clones. The multiform technique was developed by the Triclipses, or three-eyed people. So, Tien, basically. The technique takes the user's energy and splits it in half to create two. Then that energy is split to create two more. Basically, by cutting your power in half for each clone, you can create three solid fighters that can act in tandem with you. This technique was first used by Tien against Goku in the World Martial Arts Tournament. He must not have passed the technique along because the only other character to use this technique was Cell during his fight with Goku. The multiform technique is more of a hindrance because in order to do it, you have to split your energy up three ways. So unless you're much more powerful than your opponent, you'll be at a disadvantage. During Dragon Ball Super, Tien would use a stronger version of this move, one where the clones were more solid and acted
I remember a time when Tien thought he was stronger than Goku.
independently. Still, teach that technique to Goku. A Goku who could go Super Saiyan Blue in multiform would be a powerful combination. And those are just a few of the moves in Dragon Ball that could use more.
Those were that video was the OP moves that they don't use often in the series, in the manga, that they should. Like the fucking Piccolo's long arm one, yeah, I do agree. Like they should be using that one more. Um the there's gonna be more videos on the way though. I'm gonna drop more. I'm just, running through ideas real quick, like what should I react to? Shit, if y'all got any recommendations, just send them through the comments and I'll look them up and see what's up. And hope y'all doing. I can't speak. Sorry. Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all staying warm, staying safe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.